Although one might assume that there are enough shark attack films in existence, a respectable adaptation of the concept occasionally appears on television. The Meg was a huge commercial success, even though it took a while to be released, and fans were guaranteed a follow-up. With the same action-packed giant shark sequences, the sequel Meg 2, The Trench has a new director. On a $130,170 million budget, The Meg premiered in 2018 and made $530 million. Although the reviews weren't great, the box office performance was way above expectations. It guaranteed Jason Statham the best opening weekend of his career without a major franchise. That level of achievement made the follow-up inevitable. Steve Alten published Meg, a novel of deep terror in 1997. It was at least moderately successful enough to spawn 6 sequels, with a 7th on the way. Disney moved in to purchase the rights as soon as the book was published. Profiting from the simultaneous success of Jurassic Park and Jaws, the pitch was clear. With reckless abandon, the term Jurassic Shark was used. The first attempt at the screenplay was made by Tom Wheeler, the executive producer of NBC's The Cape, who was then promptly fired. The screenwriter of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Jeffrey Boehm, experienced the same fate. In 2005, with Speed and Twister director Jan de Bont at the helm, the movie was on the verge of being made. The film adaptation of Alten's book is still in development after this attempt at it failed miserably. Before the Meg reared its massive head once more, it had been 10 years since Eli Roth, of all people, had been in talks to helm the film. Director of National Treasure John Turteltaub took over for Roth, and he was ultimately responsible for getting it made. Honestly, Meg 2, The Trench's production can't possibly be as problematic as that of its predecessor. Meg 2 will debut on August 4, 2023, almost exactly 5 years after the first film debuted, easily surpassing the 21-year schedule of the first movie. The Warner Bros., who snagged the novel's rights in the lengthy shuffle, has been trying to turn this into a major franchise. Steve Alten feels the same way, saying that if the movies are made well, his books could lead to a multi-billion-dollar media empire. After the first movie's release, just 3 months, executive producer Catherine Zugin began discussing the follow-up. Statham and the screenwriting team of Dean Jorgaris, Erich Hober, and John Hober returned to the project in February 2022, and production got underway. Harry Gregson Williams, a composer, will also make a comeback after creating music for movies like The Last Duel and House of Gucci during the interim. Unfortunately, not everyone was present for the sequel. John Turteltaub, the film's director, declined to work on Meg 2. Ben Wheatley, an English filmmaker, has taken his place. High Rise is likely Wheatley's most well-known movie. The 1975 novel by Ballard was well received by critics and audiences, despite not being a huge box office success. The incredibly underappreciated action comedy Free Fire was directed by Wheatley the year after. Everything about real-world gun violence is maintained and dutifully parodied, making it essentially one long gunfight. Although Wheatley hasn't yet achieved great financial success, he is an interesting director. With a budget behind him, Meg 2 might be his chance to exercise his creative muscles and gain some genuine recognition for his abilities. In Meg 2, only a small portion of the original cast will return. Although Statham is back, almost all of the other major characters have been abandoned in the past. Along with Jonas Taylor from Statham, Cliff Curtis James McRae is back. Although the majority of the characters will change, little is known about the plot. In the book, paleobiologist Jonas Taylor is portrayed as he carries out further investigation into the named megalodon shark. He comes across the Chronosaurus, a second terrifying prehistoric animal, along the way. Fans of the first movie can anticipate the presence of a sizable crocodile-like reptile alongside the massive shark in the upcoming adventure. For his part, Alten has praised the sequel's much darker atmosphere and even raised the prospect of a strict R rating. Despite the fact that the first movie wasn't exactly a comedy, the idea of putting a dark twist on a fun creature feature would be a significant departure. Fans of The Meg could have an entirely new experience with the sequel thanks to an intriguing new director and a startling shift in tone. But they'll probably still be eager to dive in given that Jason Statham is playing the lead and the titular super shark is still in charge of the ocean. There might be a new Meg movie released every few years for the next several decades if The Trench is as popular as its predecessor. Meg 2, on August 4, 2023, the depths of the trench will be revealed. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and support my channel.